Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the SU-14-2. It's the Tier 8 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the westbourne of Berlin, and it's under the command of Oxagon of ENJ0Y. And he's actually in platoon with another member of ENJ0Y, KM1982BG. What an mouthful. We'll just call him Dave, shall we? Yep, he's in a Progetto 46. Okay, the school bus, there was only two of them actually made. One of them still remains. It's actually at the Tank Museum at Kubinka in Moscow. It was based off the T-35 heavy tank, originally designed to carry a 152mm howitzer, and well, it was upgraded somewhat. They put a shield around the gun to protect the crew, and a radio was installed so it could communicate. But they actually fought from Kubinka against the Germans as they approached Moscow, because this was one of two Artys that were actually in storage at that point. In fact, the designer of this Arty actually was purged by Stalin, but it was available so they could use it. And so yes, it was put into use fighting the Germans. Well, he's reached his firing position. It's got a 203mm howitzer capable of doing 900 alpha, 52mm pen, 10.4 meters burst radius, rounds out on the Conqueror. Direct hit. Nice direct hit, because he actually picked up loads of stun assists directly afterwards. Now the reload time by the book is 42. Is it 42? Am I reading it wrong? 42.19 seconds. It's a very long reload indeed. But we can see that Oxagon actually has reduced that reload somewhat. He's got it down to as little as 32.98, so he's knocked 10 seconds off the reload time. That shell overshot. RNG said, no, you're not getting that one. RNG can be a cruel mistress sometimes. Now, there's a lot of heavy tanks up in the north fighting it out in the usual positions. Tanks that are down this end of the map tend not to be RT safe, because of course they're fighting other tanks at close quarters. Pantera rounds out, takes a direct hit for 397. You see, trying to protect himself from the enemy tanks, but of course he doesn't protect himself from his flanks, and these shells are coming in directly sideways from him. There is at least another RT in the game. It's a Conqueror gun carriage. As you can see, he stayed north of the river. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Looks like next target's going to be a Panzer 58 Mutz. We're dialed in, ready to go, and the round's out straight away. Oh, but he only just pulled back in time to only get 180 hit points to splash, but he gets the stun assist, so he's off to a flying start because he's just under 1,000 hit points of damage, and 2/3 of that as stun assist so far. Now, looking at the heavy tank confrontation area. Remember, he hit a Conqueror somewhere in that area before. Conqueror's not in sight. Got a 50 TP on that corner. Rounds out. Got a direct hit on someone. Yep, that's why it's so important to watch where the fall of shot is, because it could very well be that you actually did hit somebody. Okay, the Rhino Sorrente's next. Keeps rocking backwards and forwards on the spot though. Yep, there's the Conqueror again. We've hit that guy before. We're almost loaded. We can't see him. Very difficult shot. Rounds out. Well, that was quite useful, because he not only splashed the Conqueror, but he also splashed the E-100 just as he fired. So that may have contributed to his inaccuracy. Rhino Sorrente's still there, but notice how close it is to the wall. Shots that are close to walls tend to have an inane ability to hit the wall instead of hitting the target. So sometimes it's easier to select a target that's in the open like this. E100 takes another hit, but only 153 this time. Going back to the Rhine Sorrente. Has a quick look. Considering his options, this would be a good shot actually, because if he does hit the Rhine Sorrente, he might actually splash the Caliban at the same time. Now that's a very difficult shot. You can see the wall is very, very close. You got a red line when he got close to it. Rounds out. Well, he did get that into the corner. Whether it did any damage or not, we'll have to find out later on. Probably not. I would say splash only. Okay, we've got an AMX-30, which is a French medium tank. Down in the south. A shot on this guy. We're loaded. Does he move forward? He does. Rounds out. Oh, that's a kill. That is very much a kill. AMX-30 is a medium tank. It's a tier 9. And he's just taken out a tank that's one tier higher than him. And as a result, of course, he's got a chance to get 10% extra XP. Now he's actually been joined by the Progetto 46 on his team, who was spotting, but he's now acting as a guard dog, mainly because I'm afraid, yes, enemy tanks have broken through in the center of the map. They've killed all our heavies. The only one that's remaining, there's a Doom Turtle. Can't get a shot on the E100 at the moment. He's looking around for an angle he can use. Rhine Sorrente, he's got an angle here. Got to hope that the guy comes out and crosses the line. He's got it on the line. Fires the round in. Oh, kill shot! Great shot, that one. 414 hit points just on the corner of the vehicle. But he's still got it. 2 kills now for Oxagon. But there's got to be enemy tanks inbound to this location. The 50 TP's looking through the window, trying to shoot at our Leopard prototype in the south, or further south from him. Now we've got the E100 coming in from the north. We're still loading, but we should be loaded momentarily. Rounds out straight away. Direct hit, but it only tracks him, and we got some stun. Well, we did get some stun assist. You can see our platoon mate is actually keeping him spotted at the moment. Normally, the only time, if all the enemy tanks, all our tanks rather, are wiped out near the center, the first time you see the enemy was when they're invisible range, which is very, very close indeed. This thing's got a 260 meter view range, so the enemy would have to be really close for you to actually see them by your own eyes. And of course, the only way you could see them would be by going up to the front of the bushes. Okay, Dave's coming back. He's going down the trench. We've no shot on the CC-1 Mark II at the moment. And that's mainly down to the fact that the Opera House is actually in the way. We can hit this Pantera, though. If he quits moving about so much. Okay, changed his aim just momentarily. I think he spies the E100 and he wants something on him as well. And he does get something this time. 342 from a direct hit. We're 1 down on the enemy at the moment, so it's not a lost cause yet. We really do need Dave to spot for us. And we're backing up just a little bit. We're expecting the E100 to come down to the end of that road. The trouble is, he's probably going to fire in our direction if he does receive a hit. Okay, yes, he is coming. Here we go. Direct hit in his rear, and it's a good one. 366 hit points, and he took additional fire. And there's the kill shot coming in from the Conqueror gun carriage, who relocated back down to the south. So now the scores are even, although it's not even on hit points, but it's close. This is good. This is getting interesting. It could still go either way. A lot of people find the school bus difficult to play because it's very, very slow. Only 30 kilometers an hour. It's also very big, which makes it an easy target because it's not got great camo qualities. Oh, he held that shot, trying to get both of them together at the same time, but it didn't work. It does actually help if you either use, because most people use vents as the third slot to try and improve the crew skills. Okay, we're one up on the enemy now because they lost their CC1 Mark II. But it can actually help to actually have something like a turbo to speed this thing up. Of course, then you forgo the extra qualities you get from having a skilled crew. Well, you're not foregoing all the skills, you're actually just foregoing the boost to their skills. It's definitely going in our favor because we have more hit points than the enemy at the moment. And I think they run out of steam. Over on the other side of the battlefield, the Caliban's relocated. We just saw him. We're having a look to see if we can see the 50 TP. Now, he should be down in the water near the center of the map. He moved. He's now fighting it out with the Leopard prototype. If we can fire around in there, we've got a perfect shot. Oh, and it falls short, and RNG lets us down again. But the 50 TP backs off because, of course, he got stunned, and we pick up some stun assist. And the enemy RT is paying attention. Now, there's two enemy RT, a GeForce and there's also an M40-M43. One of them is up in the northeast corner of the map because that's the direction the shell came from. Probably in grid squares A0 or B0. Okay, we're now 2 up on the enemy. They've only got 3 left. One of the RTs is gone. That was the M40-M43, and it was Dave who actually killed him. He's going for Pascucci's if he can. He's found the other one, the GeForce. So whilst we're waiting here, yes, he does get his Pascucci's. This is good news. Now, can the Leopard spot that? There is the 50 TP. Now, have we got a shot? No, we haven't. But the Leopard prototype shuts him down. And that is the end of the game. Well, that was an excellent result. It was an ace tanker for Oxagon in the SU-14-2 on the Berlin map. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 9. And he got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And his win rate from that one, 4,894, which is Super Unicum standard. I had a battle myself on Berlin earlier today. It didn't go anywhere nearly as good as Oxagon, and I actually had to face the enemy face to face, very close to the cap area, from the same firing position that Oxagon was using. And yes, it didn't end up very good for me. But anyway, it went well for Oxagon because he managed to deter the enemy from coming directly after him. We look at the team score, we can see the highest damage in the game turned out to be the Cranfarm with 4,477 hit points of damage. Fortunately, he didn't survive. Second highest damage was the Rhino Sorrente that Oxagon took out. He had 4,007 hit points of damage. And the third highest damage in the game turned out to be the Leopard prototype with 3,444. Oxagon got 3,375, which actually puts him in 4th place on damage in the game. And of course, he got the Gauze medal. When it came to kills, it was the Leopard prototype who did the best with 3 kills alongside the Progetto 46. Dave, he managed to get the Pascucci's medal for killing both enemy Arty, and he got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Cranfarm, to Oxagon, and to the Conqueror. And on the enemy team, there were 4 players who managed to get 2 kills. Their Caliban, their GeForce, so he was a good player after all. CC1 Mark II, and their 50 TP. When it came to base XP, it was Oxagon who came up at top with 1,218. Because, of course, he was tier 8 in a tier 10 game, and he was hitting tier 10 tanks and extracting hit points from them. Second highest was the Dave in the Progetto 46. Again, another tier 8, 1,099 experience points to him. 1,070 went to the Cramvan. In fact, there are 6 enemy tanks who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game, including the Lancer C, the Scorpion G, the other Leopard prototype, or the one who got the third place on damage. And also, yes, that was it. Sorry, because I was almost confused by the Conqueror gun carriage. So a lot of tanks, 6 tanks managed to get over 1,000 base in a game. No wonder it went the way it did in the end. 16 shots fired, 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrating shots, but he did get 18 splash. Damage of 3,375 hit points, of which 3,009 were at more than 300 meters. So I think when he hit the E100, that was very close range. He did get 7 direct hits, 7 damaged enemy and 2 kills, 453 hit points of damage assistance, and 1,641 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns. Now, he did earn a profit, 15,973 credits from the game, and he also got 1,827 experience points altogether. So a nice ace tanker in the SU-14-2 with a Gauze medal. Now, it can be a difficult Arty to play because it's so slow and big, and you have to hide it in order to stop the enemy drilling holes in it all the time. But when you get good results like this, it's kind of encouraging to say, yeah, I should take that out more often because it does have that big 203mm howitzer. And because it plays at tier 8, you can do a lot of damage to the enemy. A bit like the S51 really at tier 7. You get maximum maximum improvement in XP simply because if you use the big gun, you are going to get lots of damage on the enemy. So well done to Oxagon and to Dave. Yeah, don't know his real name, but yeah, I know we're copying jingles, but what the hell. But a good game. If you enjoyed that one, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave it in a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.